Good morning. Good morning. It's Tuesday, May 5th, Cinco de Mayo. You are watching the TMI show with Ted Rall and Manila Chan. Unfortunately, Manila Chan is still out. She's about to enter her third exciting week of Motherhood 2.0 coming up tomorrow. Robbie, do you see the scroll like over my screen, over my head?
Yeah, so the TMI logo is up, but we are not up. So I have a great show, have a great view of the logo and the TMI show, but they do not have us.
Huh. Weird. Okay, let me see if I can take that out.
Okay, now hold on. Okay, hold on. So that's the live chat. 1 second, I can fix this.
Okay.
I can fix that. Huzzah! Success!
Oh, what did you do? That's great. Okay, fantastic.
So on the right side of the Rumble Studio, y'all are going to see the sausage get made. You're going to see this little box with a little paintbrush on there.
Yeah.
If you click on that, you can toggle on or off the live chat display.
Oh, okay.
And all right. So
cool.
Yeah, so that's how that works.
Yeah, we don't. Yeah, well, I don't mind it having it. I don't mind having the live chat pop in, like we do on Deprogram at the bottom.
Right.
Is that what will it still do that?
Well, I do that manually by clicking on the chat. What was happening is that it was just comes up there and it's over your face and there's no background. So it's just washed out and then no one can see you. Now, my question is, Ted, why are you to the right of me?
I think it's the order.
You should be to the left of me.
Well, let's see. Let's take each other out and I'll put myself in first. Here we go. Let's see. Boom, boom. There we
Look
go.
At that. Fixed. Now we're politically aligned.
Yes, indeed. Symbolism is very important. Thanks everyone for tuning in. We are here 10 a.m. Eastern time, Monday through Friday, with a lighter, more fun take on the news and bringing you some stories that you probably won't hear anywhere else. And we will have takes certainly that you will not hear anywhere else. And hopefully that's all worthwhile. Okay, so let's see here. I'm going to oh God, there's so much stuff. This is the first day on Rumble Studio that we have that we're doing this that we're doing the TMI show. So bear with me as we iron out the kinks. But okay,
I straight up blew up the raid coming into deprogram. I could try to do it the regular way. I completely screwed the pooch on that one. So
so there's no raid.
There's no raid. I didn't bring everybody over, but fortunately, though, the majority of the people came over on their own because they just want to hear more from their favorite cartoonist.
Excellent. Well, that's good to hear. Oh, that's weird. How come we have our names at the bottom? We didn't used to have that. Like, I want to take that out because it's like makes it look like I'm the TMI show when it doesn't let me show my name. See design, banners, theme, names. There it is. Okay, gone. Yeah. Okay, cool. Done. All right. Cool. That's much better.
We'll figure it out.
Okay.
Listen, anytime they should work with new software, it's always fun. And I do like Rumble Studio looks and sounds so much better, and there's no sync time required like we had to do through StreamYard, which is awesome.
True. Okay. So shall we just get to it?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. So this first story is definitely one that I think will appeal to you. All right. Indian officials have floated a controversial plan to introduce apex predators, such as crocodiles and venomous snakes, into riverine, there's a word you don't see in the news very often, stretches along the Bangladeshi border in order to act as natural deterrents against undocumented migration and smuggling in places where putting up fencing is hard. India has a 2,545-mile border with Bangladesh, and it runs through some very challenging terrain. So the Indians have found some stretches impossible to fence. In an internal communication dated March 26th, the Border Security Force, the BSF of India, which is basically like CBP here, and patrols international borders with Pakistan and Bangladesh, ordered personnel at its headquarters on the eastern and northeastern fronts to explore the feasibility of deploying reptiles in vulnerable riverine gaps. The government's latest move to fence the border with Bangladesh is alarming human rights activists and wildlife conservationists in India. The India-Bangladesh border runs along the Indian states of West Bengal, Tripura, Assam, Meghalaya, and Mizoram. There's difficult and unforgiving terrain in these areas, passing through hills, rivers, and valleys. India has fenced nearly 3,000 kilometers of the border, but the remaining stretches include marshy and riverine areas with local populations who live on both sides. In the new memo, the BSF tells its frontier units to observe strict compliance by exploring use of reptiles in riverine gaps. The officials were also instructed to share action taken after receiving the direction. And analysts and activists are worried about the prospect of dangerous animals, such as crocodiles, being used to deter refugees and migrants. This would be hilarious. Well, I would say it is hilarious. We don't need to use the conditional verb tense here. If it weren't sinister and dangerous. That, according to Anshuman Chowdhury, a researcher with a focus on northeastern and eastern India border states. It's absurd, right? Looking at it objectively, argued Chowdhury, once you release venomous snakes and crocodiles, they won't be able to differentiate if it's a Bangladeshi or Indian. So true. This is peak cruelty against and dehumanization of undocumented immigrants. A whole new way of weaponizing nature and animals against human beings. It's biopolitical violence of a new kind. It's the Achilles heel in the India-Bangladesh border, the river, he said. This core impulse comes from the fact that the BSF has always found that the river on the border is practically impossible to fence. Crocodiles are not native to the riverine stretches along the India-Bangladesh border. Rathin Barman, Chief of Strategy and Liaison at the Wildlife Trust of India, says, a species of crocodile is found in the Sundarbans in southern West Bengal, and another in the restricted wetlands of Assam, but those are far away from the border. If they're moved to the border areas, they might not survive, Barman said. First thing you know, they end up dead.
That's dying over here. This is awesome.
First thing you know, they end up dead soon, he says. The same goes for so-called venomous snakes. What do you mean so-called? What's with this like venom shaming? Like they're either venomous or they're not. I mean, what is there fake venomous? Anyway, Barman warned against any manipulation to the natural distribution range of species. If we do impose this, it may intervene in the entire chain or ecosystem, Barman said. I'm concerned about other creatures who have equal rights. Oh my God.
What equal rights do they have?
To live in this world.
This is awesome. Listen, I have never seen Ted lose it like this. This is awesome. No. This reminds me of. Do you remember when we were talking about grilling babies last week? And I was the one who was just it was dying. Like this is your turn.
Maybe we'll just feed the baby. Let's morph those two stories, and we'll smush them up together, and we'll feed the babies to the alligators. Anyway, crocodiles. Technically, it is definitely not advisable, he said. It will definitely never work in an open flowing river.
How do you know it won't work? How do you know it won't work till you try?
True. You gotta be ambitious. The swampy stretches along the India-Bangladesh border are also prone to flooding, which could result in poisonous snakes spreading into residential areas, exposing the local communities, particularly those involved in fishing, to grave risk. I should say so.
Okay, as the native Floridian here, I was once on a John. I got a story.
So okay, go.
I was once on a John boat with my brother GP. That's his name, GP. We're from the South, all right? That's what we do. Well, we were just going down the John boat, floating down the Blackwater River, and this cottonmouth fell off a tree and landed right in the boat. And so what do? You get your oars and you start beating the hell.
Yeah, well, that's true. Yeah.
Well, it's 100% true. The problem is, though, is that we were a little bit too enthusiastic.
Oh, no.
And we ended up beating a hole in the, in the bottom of the John boat, and it sunk. So, so the boat goes down, and we're swimming to the...
And the snake's still like mixed up with you guys, right?
Well, we have no idea if the snake's alive or not. We have no idea. I mean, we're just clubbing the hell out of this thing. We're just hoping that he's just pissed off. Ideally, he's dead. But we get there. My brother's like, Robbie, did we kill him? I said, Jeep, I don't know. Why don't you go back and check? It was just, but no, I mean, listen, also as a Floridian, I can assure you, alligators, crocodiles, they don't mind swamps. They like them. They like swamps a lot. Back when I used to swim with alligators, honest to God, because if you don't feed them, they leave you alone. They stay on their side of the lake. You stay on your side of the lake. All is well in the world. Karma is achieved. The problem is that whenever people start feeding them, it's kind of like the bears. Now, if the Bangladeshis choose to feed themselves to the crocodiles, I mean, that could pose a problem for the local Indian population, but you'll kind of figure it out. Like, if you see this dog with eyes, you kind of stay away, because alligators and crocodiles are different. Crocodiles are really mean
and much bigger.
And for the record, I have been an advocate because I'm a...
Yeah, we had this. I remember a year or two ago, we had a similar conversation. Because didn't Trump have some kind of like little boy moat fantasy about like putting alligators into the Rio Grande?
Well, he stole that idea from me, but you don't want to use alligators. You want to use saltwater crocodiles. And then also there's river sharks that the Indians have, because the Ganges is dying. It's a dead river. So me being a conservationist at heart, I love the outdoors. I like hunting, fishing. I live in Montana, for God's sake.
But saltwater crocodiles couldn't live in the Rio Grande. That's a freshwater.
Well, no, you don't bring over saltwater crocodiles. You bring over regular ones, just regular old freshwater crocodiles, like the ones that they put down in the Jordan River at that farm that were starving to death. They're kind of...
Well, crocodiles live in the Nile too, right?
Yeah, so just bring them over, put them in the Rio Grande. You can bring over the sharks and the Ganges. It's a target-rich environment, plenty of foods, fresh water. I mean, we can solve multiple problems here at one time. We can solve immigration. We can bring true biodiversity to an area that desperately needs it, and save an endangered species by feeding the Mexicans.
There's so much to unpack here, and we will. I promise. I threaten that we will. So the crocodiles can they be trained? Because they are ancient creatures. Can they be trained to distinguish between Indians and Bangladeshis?
Absolutely not. Now, if you go there, if I am bigger than you, and if I can get you into a death roll, you, sir, are going to be my dinner. Crocodiles are like God. They're not a respecter of persons. Bears are the same way. If you're in my neighborhood, and if I'm bigger than you, and if I'm hungry, someone's not leaving here alive. And me being the apex predator, unless you have a firearm like this, is probably going to be me. So all things being equal, no, you 100% cannot train a crocodile.
Now, I did check. So this story reminds me of a story out of the Cold War, when the U.S. Air Force and other government agencies were experimenting with extreme insect mutation. And I remember my father talking to me about this. And like one of their big schemes was to see, apparently there's film of like a 12-inch housefly emerging from a gelatinous egg sac, and then basically collapsing on itself because, it's not possible to scale bugs up to that size because they're not built to be that size, and they sort of fall apart into each other. And I asked him, like, what exactly was the plan here? He said, well, the plan was that we would drop them on the Soviet Union, and then people would be so panicked they wouldn't go outside, and the U.S. troops could just march in and invade because people would be so terrified. And I was like, A, they don't own baseball bats or tennis rackets in the Soviet Union.
And it gets cold there.
B, the United States military, they're not afraid of 12-inch houseflies. I mean, like, they're braver than Russians? I don't believe I buy this. But I did investigate because I wanted to be sure to see if any other country in the modern era has attempted to use venomous snakes and or reptilians to maintain border security. And apparently the only country in the world besides India that's ever considered this is the U.S. under Trump. No other country's ever thought of it.
Listen.
And what about the fishermen? What about the legitimate passport-carrying, patriotic, red-blooded Indians who are fishing in the river, and then suddenly they get chomped by a crocodile or bitten by a poisonous snake? That's not good.
Then it's your time. It's your time to go. Sorry. I mean, listen.
It's God. One of your gods has decided.
Yeah, I mean, no, your monkey god, your snake. I mean, you have 500 of them. Pick one. I mean, it's okay. Again, we have value diversity on this show. But no, Trump's failure is a failure of imagination, and typical of Trump, a failure of execution. He should put me in charge of this project because we would not be talking about it in a hypothetical, and I could have got it up and running within 3 months. I would have called Gandhi, or not Gandhi, but Modi, that dude. So okay, so I need like 400 of y'all's endangered sharks. And he's like, well, President West, what are you going to do?
By the way, these sharks, people don't know, right? So these are sharks that live partly in salt water, but they swim up the river hundreds of miles, and they're so aggressive that they swim in there's nature specials. They swim in 2 feet of water. Yeah. And sometimes, and people in the area know not to walk too close to the river because they will jump out of the river and snatch you and pull you in.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, it is the perfect deterrent. Now, if you don't want to do that, you can use landmines. But of the two, though,
yeah.
I mean,
either way, they're equally indiscriminate, so equally good.
But exactly. But the thing is that one is ecologically sound and the other one is not. And by bringing over these animals, you're solving multiple problems. Greenpeace should award me a gift for an award for this.
But Indians and Bangladeshis, Indians are probably heavier than Bangladeshis because Bangladeshis are starving. That's why they're trying to sneak into India. Similarly, Americans are fatter than Mexicans. So isn't it likely the crocodiles would seek their meal in the home country that's deploying them more than among the migrants?
I mean, they are the true libertarians of the world. They do not care about maps. They don't care about borders. They don't care about ethnicity. I mean, they are.
They could spread all over.
That's okay. I mean, you make it sound like this is a bad thing. It is not.
Well, it's certainly entertaining.
I mean, listen. I am 100%, and I mean this sincerely. We have had this conversation. Me and Manila have sparred over this.
I know.
She
was appalled.
Well, she has a freshly baked baby. I can understand. I mean, could you imagine the migrant family trying to come across the Rio Grande? You got little Jose strapped to your back, all 30 pounds of him, and the next thing you know,
12-footer comes.
I was just like, okay, Jose, sorry, you're bait. Where you go?
It's just I swear to God, this is what happens when you put overgrown boys in charge of a government, which is what's happened here. All right, so
they should do it. They should do it, Ted. They should do it.
By the way, they should do this. Okay, my favorite part before we move on here is the fact that India is notorious for its bureaucracy, and I love the fact that they said. In the memo, they said that there's going to be strict compliance is required and that they expect a report back. Okay, we've now ordered you to deploy reptiles. Okay, so what have you guys done about it? Because you can just imagine the Zoom meeting. Last week you received memo from BSF about crocodile deployment. What have you done? We look everywhere for crocodile. We do not see crocodile. Does not live here. That Prime Minister does not want excuse. Prime Minister wants action. He wants Crocs in river to keep Bangladeshis out. He wants many venomous snakes. I mean, I can just imagine the Zoom call. It's got to be hilarious.
I'm telling again. I said It's a failure of execution. I'm hoping that the Indians follow through, because if they're able to do this, when I get elected president,
You bring it here?
Oh, yeah, in an hour. Like my very first thing to do, my very first thing as president, and if the courts tell me, President West, you can't do this, I'll ignore the courts. I will pull an Andrew Jackson. No, we're 100% doing this.
I'm in favor of, speaking of which, I used to live in Eastern Long Island, which had a massive population of deer, right? And no natural predators except for cars. And I really wanted, it's true what Maybe is saying, that in defense of India, they are adopting 80 of Pablo Escobar's hippos.
Good, they should.
And I don't know how they're going to transport them, but I assume in a plane or something, or on a ship. Anyway, the point is,
it'd be too heavy for a plane, I'm sure. I mean,
unless it's one of those big C-130s.
Yeah.
But
could you imagine transporting 80 pissed off hippos in a plane?
Well, I mean, even like one. I mean, hippos are incredibly dangerous. But in the Hamptons, they should reintroduce wolves. It'll keep the rich people on their toes. It'll make the nightlife far more interesting, and it'll control the deer.
I mean, all things being equal, and I've been thinking about this because this is a serious topic. If you're going to deter immigration, you can either you can use nature's defense mechanisms to make this happen, or you can tell the migrants, if we catch you, then ICE is going to grill your baby, and they're making a cookbook.
Well, wait, can we just play it? How about if we make it more of a game? Like, listen, if you survive the crocodiles and the snakes, you're good. Green card upon arrival. That way we're selecting for brave and stupid people, which is what we want.
I could do that. I could get behind this, but I mean,
and it should be televised, obviously.
Yeah.
For entertainment.
Pay-per-view. I mean, we could stream it here on Rumble as a Rumble Premium.
Totally. Because there's no standards. All right, let's move on here. Okay.
I mean, crocodiles or Clovis Cam? Y'all let me know in the chat. What do y'all want?
Here we
Mexican versus crocodile.
Who will win? One Wisconsin county has set one of its area's speed limits to 17.3 miles per hour in an eye-catching move aimed at jolting drivers into staying alert in a high-traffic work zone. Officials in Outagamie County, I bet it's Outagamie, rolled out the unusual speed limit at the county's Recycling and Solid Waste Center, aka the dump, where a constant flow of trucks, contractors, and residents creates a busy and sometimes hazardous environment. County leaders say the oddly specific number is intentional and psychological. Why 17.3? Because it makes you pause. It makes you look twice, officials said in a social media post announcing the change. The goal, they say, is to snap drivers out of autopilot and force them to pay closer attention to speed and safety while behind the wheel. The site already sees steady traffic from large hauling vehicles and smaller passenger cars, often moving in tight quarters. The county believes the unconventional speed limit is a small change that should get drivers to slow down, stay alert, and watch out for others. Now, this sounds maybe kind of dumb, but I think it's a good idea. And I have noticed that when there's a strange speed limit, it definitely makes me like keep paying attention to the speed limit. I've driven in places that have like an 8 mile an hour speed limit. And it's like, you're like, wait, what? It's not an increment of 5. I don't understand. There's a book called Traffic that came out maybe about 15, 20 years ago that talks about how countries like the Netherlands have really good luck making the roads safer by making the roads less predictable. So they introduce more curbs, fewer straightaways. They take away those, the arrow signs that indicate that you're about to go through a tight turn. They get rid of those. And so basically, because Dutch drivers are less likely to really know what's coming, they text less, they pay more attention to the road. They're more, they know that anything can happen. So I think anything that sort of busts you out of your sort of just rote driving is not a bad idea.
I think speed limits are dumb and should be abolished.
Well, you're from Montana, where you guys used to not have a speed limit.
I know. And the whole reason we have is because the Department of Transportation infringed upon the rights of the state of Montana. So, but no, I mean, seriously, I mean, I like what you're talking about, because ultimately speed limits, they're not really about protecting the public safety. It's just another way for the government to screw you out of money. I mean, that's honestly what it is.
If it wasn't, if you were wrong, then the system would be like points only, right?
Yeah.
It's like, we'll take, if you get enough tickets, we'll take away your driving privileges for a while, right? And that's not if it's financially punitive, it only punishes, like, poor people. Rich people don't care if they get tons of tickets; they just pay them.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's what it's all about. I mean, speed limits are dumb. They should not exist. And I don't care if you're in a city, if you're in a small town, they should just be abolished. There's no point. All it is, it's just another form of taxation. And it's a way that it taxes you based off of behavior, as if we're not taxed enough already.
I mean, it's true that, like, let's put it this way: if the road is empty and straight enough that you can go 90 miles an hour, probably it's safe to go 90 miles per hour. If you're in Midtown Manhattan, you'll be lucky to break 15. And
the geography of the area is going to make sure you can't.
Right. There's too much traffic, right? And as long as you have rules like you have to yield to pedestrians and stuff and crosswalks, you're fine. You don't have speed limits are kind of dumb.
They are. And also, more to the point, if you're that dumb and if you're driving that way, odds are you will remove yourself from the gene pool quite quickly, in which case that's a self-correcting problem. It's called the crocodiles and the Bangladeshis.
That's where we always come back to the crocodiles.
It's all about the crocodiles.
Yeah. No, I mean, well, it's true that I would like to live in a world with more crocodiles. So, when I came of age in the 70s, when there were, speaking of crocodiles, there were fewer concerns about the safety of children. And I remember going with my dad to the Cincinnati Zoo, and they had alligators and crocodiles and probably caimans in these enclosures that were basically like only about, like, a fence was maybe about 2-3 feet high. And there was a gap between the bars big enough for an alligator to squeeze his snout through sideways. And, like, basically, if you came within a foot, they could get you. Basically, they're trying to snap at you. And I remember me asking my dad about it. I was like, is that safe? And he's like, what, are you stupid? You see it right there. You don't get too close.
Stay away. I mean, seriously.
Right.
Now, Peter, thank you for the $1. He says the Dutch will track you down for going 105 in a 100 kph zone. I have no idea what a kilometer is, because I'm an American.
A kilometer is 0.6 of a mile.
Yeah, I mean, to
one,
me,
yeah,
the
1 mile
system
is 1.6 kilometers.
The metric system mystifies me, because it's too easy.
So 100 kilometers per hour is 60 miles an hour.
See, to me, I mean, the Europeans, one of the reasons that we know that they have fallen is because they did away with the imperial system and give this metric crap. Just go back.
Everyone has. Even the UK got rid of British imperial.
Because Thomas, he came home. I was trying to help him with his homework. It was all metric, and I'm looking at it. I was like, I have no idea what the hell this is. Like, none. So I'll take feet, miles, stones, even cupids. I can understand cupids.
Yes, that's
when it comes to the metric system, I am completely lost.
Well, I mean, yeah. Well, it's a product of the French Revolution. Look, it obviously worked out pretty well. I mean, I think there's some certain things I don't really understand why they try to interact, right? Like, sort of like 1 liter is, I think, also like 1 kilo of water at sea level at 32 degrees or something like that. I forget what temperature. And it's just like, does it really matter that a kilo of water is also a liter? Like, what? I don't, whatever.
Give me course in gallons. I understand that.
But let's face it. I mean,
it's too simple for metric is too simple. That's my problem.
Gallons is dumb. Pints, quarts, gallons.
But Ted, you got to remember, your
inches makes no sense. It's like, wait, it's 1 to 12. What? It was the king's eye, and it's versus his foot. I mean, it's so medieval.
That's why it works. I mean, look what the Europeans did with the system. They conquered the freaking world with the imperial system.
Despite that system,
Oh, because it made them think. I'm going to push back on this. This show's just already off the rails. Who the hell cares? The reason why they were so good and the reason why they were at warfare is because their units of measurement sucked so much. They're always at war with each other, trying to figure out where exactly the border is. So instead of being adults and just sitting down, well, maybe we should just draw the line here. They said you can go out and you fight each other, which makes perfect sense. Well, if you fight enough, you get really good at fighting. And then you just start exporting this wonderful system to the rest of the world. And the British used the imperial system to bring running water and electricity to the dark continent. And they used it to introduce the Chinese to the wonderful pleasures of opioids. So there's clearly benefits to be had by a system that makes you think in such an abstract way.
Although the weirdest thing is the old currency system that the Brits had with pence and shillings and all that stuff. We have an ad, which I'm going to now proceed to read.
Is it about grilling babies?
No, it's about grilling steaks. Today's sponsor is Chicago Steak Company, and they're giving away 8 free steak burgers on every order. Code 8burgers. Think about the last time you bought burgers at the grocery store. You stood there staring at a wall of plastic-wrapped ground beef, trying to figure out which one isn't going to turn into a hockey puck on the grill. Maybe you grabbed the expensive organic pack. Maybe you went cheap. Either way, you got home, fired up the grill, and watched them shrink to half their size, dry in the middle, falling apart through the grates. A Chicago steak company figured out a better way. They make half-pound steak burgers from USDA prime beef, hand-formed from premium cuts, and ship them to your door on dry ice. These hold together on the grill, stay juicy, and actually taste like steak. Here's the deal. Spend $189 or more on any steaks you want. Use code 8burgers, and they add 8 free steak burgers, plus a bottle of steak seasoning, plus free shipping to your order. That's $200 in free extras on top of whatever you ordered. 15,000 5-star reviews. These people know what they're doing. Go to mychicagosteak.com/rumble. Code 8burgers, EIGHT, not ATE. Link in the description. Get them before they're gone.
Yeah, that sounds good. Probably better than grilling babies. Just saying.
Tastier, I'm sure.
I have to ask one of Jeffrey Epstein's associates, but except he didn't have any associates because there's no list.
There is, yeah, he was all by his lonesome.
He was.
It's very sad for him, really.
I mean, could you imagine having this big old island with all these places for people to come and visit you with the Lolita Express and nobody comes?
It's so sad. And you have your Baal temple all empty.
I feel sorry for the guy. Truly. It
is true.
Yeah. So John Rockefeller says he uses his dick as a measurement of measure. That's how he. So and
you've heard of the Q bit. This is the Q dick.
Correct. So I mean, no. I mean, if it works, it works.
Sure. Yeah.
I mean, a cupid is from the length of your middle finger to your elbow. So. And of course, everyone always has the same forearm length. So
it's exactly identical for all humans.
Yeah, for sure. But honestly, I mean, regardless of the ancients, though, it's amazing how they were able to build what they built with such screwed up systems of measurement. I mean, think about that. Talk about improvising.
Yeah. Well,
I'm trying to say I can't say the other word.
Yeah, I wonder if, like, for example, at a work site, do you think they'd had like rulers and stuff? They must have, right? So that they had to have standardization.
Well, there's no way that they couldn't have. So, I mean, I guess whenever a new king came on board, that they would have to measure the new Cupid because it's always different.
Right. Or like, yeah, because like, what if you have like a regent, right? A young king who's too small.
I've never studied that. Like, how did that work?
Frig if I know.
What unit of measurement did the Chinese use? Do you know? In ancient China,
I don't know. No idea. But if only there was a device that could tell us. Let's tell me about ancient Chinese measuring systems. I mean, I'm sure it's going to be very complicated.
What from China is not complicated?
All right. All right. So the first units are attributed to the Yellow Emperor, with length measures derived from human body parts like finger widths, hand spans, or paces. So that's very similar. The record of the Grand Historian notes inconsistencies from body-based measures, leading to unification efforts by figures like Yu the Great. Archaeological evidence indicates that decimal-marked rulers from the Shang dynasty, during the Zhou dynasty, units varied by state. The pivotal moment came with Qi Shi Huang, the first emperor of Qin, aka who ruled from 221 to 210 before Common Era, who standardized measurements across his unified empire to facilitate administration, trade, and infrastructure. The system was largely decimal, a strength compared to many ancient systems. The base unit was the qi, often translated as Chinese foot, subdivided as 1 qi is 2 chun, aka an inch, 1 chun is 10 fen, 1 zhang is 10 qi, and then larger is the bu, or the pace, is 5 to 6 qi, and there's the li, which is the Chinese mile, is the same as 300 to 360 bu, roughly 500 meters in many periods. This goes on. There's volumes and capacity. There's the sheng as a base. The dao is 10 sheng. The hu is 10 dao. This is for grain, liquids, and taxes. And then with weight, there's the liang, which is basically an ounce. The jin is the pound, classically 16 liang. And there's the dan, or the shi, which is 120 jin. So it's under the Qin dynasty that standardization occurred and rulers started being distributed.
So then that must be where the Mongols came up with their idea for their military, because it was all based. It was all a decimal system too. Like everything was, all of their units were based on the measurement of 10.
Really?
So that must be where they got that from. I don't remember what they called it, but no, like the smallest unit was 10 men, and then you would multiply that by a unit of 10, and that's how their military units were set up. It was all by units of 10.
And then weren't the Babylonians like base 12, or was it base 8? I forget which it was. I think it's 12.
They were 12. Yeah. That's why we have the 24-hour clock.
Yeah, we somehow, I don't know why we're stuck with that, but yeah. It's very weird.
What clock would you prefer?
I mean, decimal seems like it would make more sense, right? Like a 10-hour day.
We could always do like the Jews did. Your day would start at sunset because it'd be a linear day. The problem isn't that your calendar gets all screwed up. Yeah.
Well, no calendar. All those calendars really kind of don't really work with the way that the world actually works. Okay, so last and probably least, let's get straight to it. And I have the Jaws now.
You do have the Jaws.
Let me see if I can find the Jaws here.
Where I mean, wouldn't it be racist and sexist for you to use the Jaws?
It is, and that's why I was thinking of using it. Let's see here. Although, is that an audio clip or?
It's a video.
Yeah.
Because on my end, I can't see the graphics.
That's it.
You got it.
I'm now guilty of sexism and racism. Okay, here we go. A Southwest Airlines flight from Oakland, California to San Diego was delayed for more than an hour due to the presence of an unusual passenger, a robot. Eiley Ben Abraham of Elite Event Robotics confirmed that he and the 4-foot-tall, 70-pound robot named Bebop boarded the plane at Oakland San Francisco Bay Airport on Thursday in order to attend an event in San Diego. Southwest Airlines spokesperson Lynn Lunsford confirmed Ben Abraham had purchased a ticket for Bebop, but the initial delay was caused by the robot's presence in an aisle seat, being a violation of the airline's policy for large carry-on items. Bebop was then moved to a window seat, but no word on whether Bebop controlled the window in a way that was irritating to his seat companions. But airline staff soon noted a second issue. Then they come and start asking, what kind of batteries does it have? What's going on with this? X, Y, and Z. They want to see it, Ben Abraham told KGO TV. Bebop's lithium battery was found to be larger than the maximum allowed by Southwest policy, so the plane was only able to depart once the battery was removed and confiscated. Ben Abraham and the inert robot were then able to continue their flight to San Diego. The plane departed 1 hour and 2 minutes behind schedule. Elite Event Robotics, which rents out its robots for appearances at various events, said Bebop will continue to fly commercial, but without batteries installed. Bebop was able to make it to a scheduled appearance Sunday at a digestive disease week, because who wouldn't want to attend that, at McCormick Place in Chicago. Elite Event Robotics had batteries shipped overnight to Chicago, so the robot would be able to perform.
I mean, this is wrong on so many levels. First of all, it's livest. Why are you discriminating against this robot? I mean, the robot has... Have you ever seen Star Trek? Robots have rights. Captain Jean-Luc Picard, he made this case for Data when Starfleet wanted to dissect him. You remember that episode?
True. I do remember that very well.
Yeah, and I think that this is a travesty. Just because Bebop could potentially accidentally explode is no,
what could go wrong?
Is no reason to penalize him.
Yeah, I mean, that has happened, right? There's
phones explode.
Value Jet, right? Wasn't that like a batteries that blew up on the plane and brought it down?
It was for the Samsung Note phones, because what would happen is that the batteries would swell under the pressure and they would explode. And so they're catching on fire and actually blowing up on planes. I worked for Verizon at the time, and it caused all kinds of problems. There were people who were wanting to get refunds for their phones. There were people who wanted to know what the restrictions were. And so naturally you go to the phone carrier instead of the airline to find out what can I do with my phone. And also when portable battery packs started, really appearing, they kept catching on fire and exploding too, because for whatever reason, lithium batteries and pressurized air tubes, they don't like each other very much.
Yeah, batteries are dangerous. My father told me that when he was a project manager at the Air Force, that one of his big rules was no batteries, because batteries cause fires. Fires are bad.
Well, that's why you gotta have them in every Tesla.
Right. What could go wrong? And then not only does the Tesla blow up, but you can't get out because you're locked in.
Yeah. Well, ideally, it'll just explode and you'll go out quickly. Now, it can also turn into a grill and it can just slowly cook you to death, which would not be ideal. Because who wants to eat a fully grown adult? You really want to grill
a crocodile.
Or a freshly baked human.
All things come back to the crocodiles. So, look, I got to say, first of all, if we go back to the rights of the other animals in the crocodile zone, like,
that's so awesome.
They have a right to live there without crocodiles. I mean, okay, so that beggars the question, or it prompts the question, doesn't beggar the question. It prompts the question of, like, what about animals who are currently living near crocodiles in other places? Like capybaras live near crocodiles and famously get along with them very well. But, like, don't they have a right not to live next to crocodiles? Doesn't kind of everyone have a right not to live next to crocodiles?
Oh, clearly not. Because, I mean, listen, the crocodile is a marvel of evolution if you believe in evolution.
That's true.
They have existed since the time of the dinosaurs. They are a living fossil. So if you believe in evolution, then you should 100% want to protect and increase the population.
And feed the crocodile.
And feed the crocodiles. And if you have a disposable resource like migrants.
Like Bangladeshi migrants.
Or Mexican migrants, or
any migrant, really.
Yeah, any migrant. It doesn't.
I would say capitalists are a disposable resource. Like, just go.
I mean, I would like to classify Luigi as a type of crocodile. That way, he'd be protected under the Protected Species Act.
That'd be nice. Yeah.
And so, I mean, just because he used
and Cole Allen.
Yeah, just because he used something different than his teeth. I mean, that's fine. I think that we're really doing a major disservice to our crocodile friends.
So what about the question is, would the crocodile have caused as much of a stir on Southwest Airlines? I mean, the crocodile doesn't require lithium batteries, so he's not going to explode.
I mean, strap him into the seat.
He might not like it.
I mean, all right, bub. I'm going to strap you in here, and just click him, and just tell the stewardess, whatever you do, don't give him a ginger ale because it causes terrible indigestion. So just leave him be. And then if she asks you, what kind of snack would your crocodile like, ask for a migrant, so that way you can.
It's like, yeah, no biscotti for me. I'll have the and it's like, also, there's no way to get the crocodile into coach. Are you kidding?
No,
I mean, a small one's like 10 feet long, right?
No, you'd be doing first class,
all the way, like in the pod, really. So, I mean, I got to say, if I were a fellow passenger, in all seriousness, on the Southwest flight, I would have been seriously annoyed. I would have been like, why is my flight late? I mean, bear in mind, this is what? It's only a 2-hour flight at most, maybe, from Oakland to San Diego. Like, why the fuck should my flight now be increased in length by 50% because some dingus decided to bring his, like, tin can, his humanoid tin can on board? It would piss me off.
Or more to the point, whenever he bought the ticket, why didn't the airline tell him what would be required before he strapped it in? I mean, no, to your point, crocodiles.
And how did TSA handle it, by the way? When he shows up with the robot at check-in, he's like, well, I bought a ticket for it. Okay, but the robot doesn't have ID, right? So how does he get on the plane?
It has a serial number.
But he still doesn't have ID.
It's luggage. It's just like what you say, with one of the things that you famously pushed back on me about migrants, especially like the dreamers, is, well, their luggage.
Yeah, that's like, right. Or like the crocodile would just be your emotional support crocodile.
Well, 100%. All you got to do is just give them that little orange vest, and then you just
right.
So,
it's like, don't pet him. He's working.
Now, if you pet him, you may lose a hand.
he's working. He's providing me with emotional support.
He is.
I don't know.
And now, I mean,
I could get a lot of emotional support out of a crocodile. Like if a certain former newspaper publisher happened to be sitting next to me, I think my crocodile could provide a lot of emotional support to me.
You heard me speak to a couple of times to my former boss.
I did.
And there were times where I did think about finding some kind of a scaly friend to take with me to the office.
Have a conversation with her.
I mean, just one thing, and I don't know how this would work because they are big, but they're lowriders though. I'm like, I would love to have went into Logan Health one day riding a crocodile. Just be on his back. Now, granted, it would be low. And be kind of slow, but no one's going to criticize me at all about being tardy to my shift.
Did you ever see Jackass the movie?
Never have.
So you know what it is, right?
No clue.
It's like basically these like bros who they do these ridiculous pranks. A lot of them involve like self-harm, and one of them is they get an alligator and put it in their mom's kitchen. And their mom, and she's like, "Oh my God, is it real? Is it real?" And then it moves a little bit, and she's like, "It's real! It's real!" So good.
Yeah, well, I mean, in Florida, that happens all the time.
Yeah, that's true.
But alligators, snakes. We once woke up to a deer in the house.
What?
Yeah.
Like, not that it really matters, but just out of curiosity, how big of a deer?
It was a small one. It still had its spots before I shot him.
You shot it in the house?
Oh yeah.
Weren't you worried about damaging, the house?
It was a trailer. It's falling apart anyway. I didn't care.
Oh my God.
So no, it's sent to me its maker and adjusted out right there.
So when it broke in, that like pushed in the door and just came in looking for food, or what?
Oh, we didn't have an air conditioner because we didn't have any electricity. Because my dad was drunk, we had no bills, and we had no utilities. So I was a kid at the time. I was like 8 or 9 years old, and woke up to this hellacious noise, and there's this deer inside. My dad's passed out there on the couch, and I see this deer. I was like, oh, okay. So I get the shotgun, and dinner is served.
Wow.
So sometimes dinner does come to you. So again, I am sympathetic to the plight of the croc. I mean, if dinner's coming to you,
it's not your fault, really.
Then who are you to deny it?
No, it would be wrong. It would be rude.
It would be. I mean, as a guest, right? I mean, this meal is brought. It comes into your home.
True. No, it's true. It's yours.
It would be. It would be incredibly rude.
It's like if a certain newspaper publisher were to wander onto my property, it would be rude for me not to eat it.
If that ever happens, call me.
I will,
and I will come to your house, and we can take care of this. Did you have pigs?
No pigs.
If that ever happens, we're going to get some pigs. Because pigs are a magnificent way of getting rid of carrion.
Oh, so if you chop them up and then the pigs just eat like the person's body, then it's gone.
You don't even need to chop them up. I mean, you just toss them in there. Listen, this is the kind of news.
They eat all the bones too?
Oh yeah. So
why don't like more criminals do that?
Because they don't know. So, listen, in the Deep South, there's sundown towns. They're both white and black, and there is this famous rivalry. It's pretty much a race war. It would still be going on between this place called Jay, Florida, and Rosebud, Florida. Rosebud is predominantly black. Jay is predominantly white. You never get caught, after dark in either one of those towns, depending on what you look like. And the way that the good old boys in Jay would take out the trash, as they called it, is that they would take the carrion to the pig farms, and the pigs take care of it. Because if there's no body, there's no crime. The person just goes missing; they're gone, right. And you don't have to worry about no lime and waiting for stuff to dissolve, and they just feed them to the pigs. Seriously, that's what you do.
Would you? I mean, I guess if the cops knew, then they could kill the pigs and like open them up and find the parts inside, right?
Yeah, they could, but
if they knew,
or if they cared.
Yeah, well, especially if they knew.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean. No. One of the things about the Deep South, especially North Florida, is that the place is infested with razorbacks, and so we ain't using domestic pigs here. That's what I'm talking about. We're using
razorbacks. You just throw them to boars.
Yeah, and then just eat them. Problem solved. Another thing, if you ever want to hunt a razorback, follow along the bank of a river, and I don't know what the hell it is, but they love strawberry Pop-Tarts. I don't know why.
So you use them as bait.
So you crush up this Pop-Tart and you find yourself a nice little stand of palmetto. You stick the Pop-Tart there, back off, and you just wait. And you will get yourself some bacon that night.
The thing is, they are fast, though.
Yeah. Bullets faster. Just make sure you're using a high caliber rifle. Because if you, like that SKS, would just piss it off. You got to use a big gun if you're going to go after a razorback.
Put a big hole in it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, so the TMI show brings you the valuable information that you need to know in certain circumstances.
How to dispose of bodies and how to hunt boars.
Yeah, well, seriously, you never know. I mean, that's something that some of our listeners may need to do at some point. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in. You are watching the TMI show with Ted Rall and Manila Chen. We're here at 10 a.m. Eastern Time, Monday through Friday. Robbie West, our producer, filling in for the formerly pregnant, now post-pregnant Manila Chen. We don't know. We're laying odds on when Manila is going to make it back.
I think probably Friday. I have nothing to base that off of, but I think probably Friday.
I could see that. Yeah, then she just has the day, and then she could like take the weekend off. Yeah. Anyway, the thing is, if you have a newborn child, work is a vacay, so you're looking forward to it for sure.
Yeah. And I will be raiding Putinbot Gaming after this. It'll be a short stream, but just knock out some metrics and stuff. Oh, hey, and I got a spammer on Telegram now. Why is it that they always use East Asians?
It's always East Asian ladies.
It's always East Asian ladies. And, I'm sorry. I lost your phone number. How are you?
That's what they always say.
Always.
Always. Yeah, it's so dumb. All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you tomorrow. Deprogram, 9 a.m. tomorrow with Jamal. TMI, back at 10 a.m. tomorrow. See you then.
And the Q&A show tomorrow.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Q&A show, 12 noon tomorrow.
Yeah.
Okay. Bye.